Your complete guide to SEO consultants, top experts, benefits, costs, and more. Why B2B buyers start in search now. If you've worked in B2B sales for any amount of time, you've felt the shift. Buyers want to self-educate before they ever reply to an SDR or accept a meeting. That education usually starts in Google, and it's why organic search drives 53+ domain of overall website traffic for many companies. When your brand isn't visible early, outbound teams end up cold calling accounts that have already formed opinions based on what they found online. In practical terms, SEO is no longer a marketing side quest. It's part of how revenue teams create preference before a rep ever speaks. Data points commonly cited across the industry show 81% of B2B purchase cycles begin with web search, and buyers may run roughly 12 searches before they seriously engage a brand. That means the content, pages, and search results you own are silently shaping the shortlist, while your team is still building target lists. This is also why the timing gap between marketing and sales feels so frustrating. Buyers are often around 70% through their journey by the time they contact sales. And many studies report that 84% of buyers say the first vendor they speak with tends to win. The job of an SEO consultant, done correctly, is to make sure you're that first vendor conversation, because you were the most helpful result during the research phase. What a strong SEO consultant actually does for pipeline. A real B2B SEO consultant isn't just tweaking title tags or handing you a keyword spreadsheet. They're designing demand capture around how your ICP buys. They start by auditing technical foundations, crawlability, indexation, internal linking, speed, schema, and then validate whether your current rankings align with the use cases your sales team actually closes. If search engines can't understand your site or your pages don't match buyer intent, everything else is noise. The best consultants map search intent to your funnel. Problem-aware questions, solution comparisons, and purchase-ready queries like pricing, alternatives, and best for terms. This matters because the top organic result often earns about 27.6% of clicks, and fewer than 1% of users go to page 2. So winning the right terms determines whether you're invited into deals at all. In B2B, the focus should be qualified visibility, not volume for its own sake. Most importantly, you should treat your SEO consultant like a revenue partner, not a blogger on retainer. We push for consultants to report on organic demo requests, SQLs, and pipeline influence by segment, and to be comfortable inside your analytics and CRM workflows. That single expectation, owning business outcomes, not just rankings, separates strategic operators from checkbox SEO. Choosing the right engagement model and budget. Not all SEO consultants are the same, and the right choice depends on your site complexity, internal resources, and how fast you need execution. A senior solo consultant can be ideal for focused B2B motions, while a boutique shop can add process and content capacity without the weight or cost of a large agency. Specialists can be invaluable for technical SEO, migrations, or link acquisition, but they typically need a strategy owner to keep work aligned to revenue outcomes. For a serious US-based B2B program, a common benchmark is $2,500 to $5,000 per month for a strong consultant or boutique firm, or $75 to $150 per hour for experienced project-based support, with enterprise needs going higher. The important part is not the sticker price. It's whether the scope includes technical fixes, intent mapping, content strategy, and measurement tied to pipeline. Cheap SEO is often the most expensive option once you factor in wasted time, irrelevant traffic, or risky tactics. How to operationalize SEO with SDRs and Outbound. The fastest way to make SEO real for a sales org is to force alignment between SEO, SDR leadership, and RevOps. Your consultant should regularly review call recordings, objections, and reply patterns. Then turn those insights into pages that rank and messaging that converts. When the story is consistent from Google to the first SDR touch, you reduce friction and increase trust because buyers feel like you get it at every step. This is also where SEO plus outbound becomes a force multiplier rather than a channel debate. Organic leads often convert at roughly 14.6% on average, compared to about 1.7% for outbound, an 8x difference. So your consultant's job is to capture and qualify demand, while outbound accelerates coverage and meeting volume. In practice, that means SEO pages become high-credibility assets your reps can share in sequences, and inbound intent signals can influence who your team prioritizes next. At SalesHive, we've seen this playbook work repeatedly. Where SEO consultants help you get found, our SDR motion helps you get selected. We operate as a B2B sales agency and SDR agency that can plug into the topics your SEO strategy uncovers, then translate them into cold email agency messaging, targeted outreach, and cold calling services that sound relevant instead of random. With more than 100,000 B2B meetings booked for 1,500 plus clients, we treat SEO insights as fuel for sharper list building services, cleaner targeting, and better conversations. If your SEO consultant can't connect their work to SQLs and pipeline by segment, you don't have an SEO partner, you have a ranking reporter. Best practices that keep SEO tied to revenue. Start with one revenue use case, not 100 keywords. Pick a tight motion, like more demos from US mid-market manufacturers or more enterprise security evaluations, and build a focused strategy around that ICP, those objections, and those deal stages. Once you see traction, you expand to adjacent segments and geographies with confidence rather than guesswork. Require a technical plus content plus RevOps blend from day one. Your consultant should be able to discuss schema, internal linking, and crawl issues while also understanding how attribution and opportunity stages work in your CRM. When they can tie organic landing pages to influenced opportunities and not just impressions, leadership gets the clarity needed to keep investing through the compounding phase. Finally, align your reporting to outcomes your revenue team recognizes: demos, qualified conversations, sequels, and pipeline velocity. Organic search is still the biggest slice of digital attention for many brands, and widely cited benchmarks suggest 70 to 80% of users often ignore paid ads. So it's worth building durable ownership in search rather than renting clicks forever. The goal isn't more traffic, it's more of the right accounts raising their hand and moving forward faster. Common hiring mistakes and how to avoid them. The most common mistake is hiring the cheapest option and hoping it works out. Discount providers often rely on generic templates, questionable link tactics, or broad keywords that attract students and job seekers instead of your buying committee. A better approach is to anchor selection around B2B case studies tied to pipeline, a transparent methodology, and a plan to collaborate with your sales process, even if that means a smaller engagement with higher quality work. Another mistake is treating SEO as marketing-only work and leaving sales out of planning. When sales leadership and SDR managers aren't involved, content drifts toward interesting topics that don't answer deal-critical objections, and then everyone wonders why traffic rose but opportunities didn't. Instead, have your consultant build the roadmap around what reps hear daily, then reuse those same insights in outbound sales agency scripts, talk tracks, and enablement. A third error is expecting results in 30 to 60 days and pulling the plug before compounding begins, or restricting access to data and stakeholders so the consultant can't diagnose what matters. In most B2B environments, plan for 3 to 6 months to see meaningful traction and 6 to 12 months for compounding returns, while tracking leading indicators like indexation, rankings on strategic terms, and early conversions. Give your consultant analytics, Search Console, CRM dashboards, and a clear point of contact, and you'll get strategy built on reality instead of assumptions. Advanced optimization, technical depth, intent depth, and attribution. Once the basics are covered, technical SEO is where many B2B sites unlock the next step function in growth. That includes cleaning up crawl paths, fixing index bloat, strengthening internal linking to money pages, and using schema to earn richer visibility in results. Strong consultants will also talk comfortably about log files, rendering, and performance, because those details determine whether your best content is actually discoverable and competitive. Intent depth is the second lever. Comparison pages, alternatives pages, integration pages, and industry solutions can carry more revenue weight than dozens of generic blog posts. Your consultant should be able to defend why specific pages exist, which buying stage questions they answer, and how each page supports conversion paths. When SEO is built around purchase intent, it becomes an engine that supports both inbound conversion and outbound credibility. Attribution is the third lever, and it's where serious programs separate from content publishing. If your SEO partner can't connect organic sessions to assisted conversions and influenced opportunities, you'll struggle to prioritize correctly and prove ROI. We recommend aligning tracking with the same rigor you'd apply to pay-per-meeting lead generation or pay-per-appointment lead generation programs. Define what qualified means, measure consistently, and review performance by segment and page type, not just site-wide averages. The future of SEO, AI overviews, zero-click, and brand demand. AI overviews and rising zero-click behavior are changing how search visibility works, but they don't eliminate the value of SEO. They raise the bar. Commodity content gets summarized and skipped first, while differentiated expertise, original insights, and strong brand signals continue to earn clicks and citations. Your consultant should have a plan for schema, FAQs, and thought leadership that increases the odds you show up even when the blue links aren't the whole page anymore. This is also where SEO and outbound converge strategically. Brand demand matters more when generic discovery becomes crowded. When prospects search for you by name, your conversion rates, win rates, and sales efficiency improve, and you're less dependent on channel volatility. A coordinated approach, SEO to educate and build trust, plus an outsourced sales team to create conversations with the right accounts, helps you compete even as the SERP changes. If you're deciding what to do next, keep it simple. Pick one revenue use case, align your consultant to pipeline outcomes, and run SEO alongside a focused SDR motion. Many teams treat SEO as slow because they only look at lagging results. We prefer a plan that shows progress early through leading indicators while outbound keeps meetings flowing. When both channels reinforce the same positioning, you're no longer choosing between inbound and outbound. You're building a system that reliably creates and converts demand.